Welcome back to your favorite podcast on the planet, Realty Talk. To my right, we have the queen of the closing table, Suzanne, founder and CEO of Innovate Realty, and many more things. We're going to talk about some of those things today. And I am Paul Fix-It-All Hansen, and I run Buy House and a couple of other opportunities, but we're not going to talk about those today.
Yeah.
We have a very exciting episode. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about a business that we probably haven't talked much about.
Yeah.
And it has to do with the queen of the closing table. But before we do, we should talk about the market a little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you listened to our episode last week, you heard all about how July was kind of a slow month as an investor, but a really great month at the brokerage. And so I'm just intrigued to see, what your opinion is and what you think at the agent level or the broker level. What does the end of summer and fall look like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think what we talked about last week is just that July was, just an overall rough month across the country. So I think, historically, July hasn't been great regardless.
Yeah.
So I think coming into the end of summer, number one, I feel expectations are kind of aligning a little more between both buyers and sellers as far as interest rates go on the buy side and sellers of really where the market is. And then, back to school time, like what I would anticipate that things that have maybe been sitting for the summer could potentially get into escrow, end of summer. I just think it's been a really strange summer. It's been hotter than usual here in Southern California. I think we've talked about it before and kind of joked about it, but it's like any little thing happens here, it's like there's a reason to not go look at houses. So I think we're kind of coming out on the other side where it's like if someone needs to move, they need to move and they need to make some decisions. And potentially for buyers getting better deals if something has been sitting. So
yeah. One thing that has been in my head about the fall is, and I haven't gone and actually looked at the data yet, but I would like to. It appears that we're going to have a huge El Niño year. So we're going to have a very kind of rainy fall and winter.
Yeah.
Which is not great for construction.
No.
So we're bracing ourselves. We're trying to get to a place as an investor where we don't have open, projects for all that rain. But what does that do on a resale side?
Yeah.
I mean, you said it, and I think I feel it when buyers have a reason to not leave.
Yeah.
It's too hot or it rains too much.
Yeah. We're very spoiled here. We're very spoiled with the weather. I say it all the time. Like anywhere I go, when I come back, I'm like, even right now, it's hot, it's humid, my hair is wild, and I'm complaining about it all the time. And then I'm like, everywhere else is so much worse.
Yeah.
When I talk to my family in Arizona, I'm like, I hear myself.
Yeah.
But
it's 100 degrees at 10 p.m.
But it is what it is. That is the people who live here.
Sure.
We all kind of feel this way. And so when it's raining, open houses in the rain, not only do you not want to go to them, but sellers don't want you holding them, It's like the house gets messy. And so again, I feel like we're in a time right now where it's ideal. If you're serious about moving, this is probably the best time to be looking. So
I have to think about that. We can't let the fall and a big El Niño year stop sales. We're going to have to get like Innovate, big rubber mats that go in an entryway.
Yeah. Give away Innovate ponchos.
Or maybe like slippers, so
we
that
have
shoes come off.
umbrellas. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're
Come see our
resourceful.
inventory this fall.
We'll be ready. We'll be ready. Yeah.
So transitioning into the meat of our episode today, we've referenced different businesses that we're a part of. But we haven't talked about one that you started and really created and built out over the last few years. And so I want to just ask a few questions. But before we do, tell us a little bit about, I'm not even going to say the name because I think you've got to just
Yeah. So, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
So I created Mentorical, 2020
Mm,
actually is when I created it. And it was COVID times. And
mm,
it was the time where, I have always been super passionate. And I think it comes through in our podcast and
yeah.
conversations that agents really need additional training and support. I truly believe that if you went and studied, you passed the test, you got your license, you are still nowhere near ready to do anything in real estate.
Mm,
And I believe so firmly in that because I experienced it myself, you
yeah.
know? So you basically have a few paths when you get your license. You are either going to join a team
Yep.
and you're going to learn from that team lead and they're going to supply you business and you're going to, hopefully thrive in
Yeah.
that environment. You're going to join a brokerage that's maybe going to provide that additional training. Either one of those things, you have to accept that you are going to give up commissions,
Sure.
quite a bit of commissions, in order to be successful. Now, the problem with that model, I
Wait,
think.
can I pause
Oh,
one thing?
yeah, sure.
Really, all you're saying is apprenticeship,
Yes.
which is common.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in any industry, if you want to become great at that specific thing, you have to learn it and apprentice.
Yes.
Right. So and some people that want to be agents maybe haven't wrapped that into
Yeah.
their thought process yet.
Right. Oftentimes they're just like, I'm going to do my friends and family and I got this. And really they think that passing the test and finishing the classes is going to get them there.
Right.
But in reality, it never does. It's
Yeah.
never going to. There's so much that you have to just experience
Yep.
and it takes time to get there. I have been blessed to be behind thousands of transactions.
Yep.
So got a lot of knowledge from those transactions. But I also think one thing that's really kind of unique about the real estate industry is a lot of times other agents don't want to share information or best practices, and they really hold it close because they look at other agents like competitors. So agents, you'll see them. I mean, not all, but they really hold on to these secrets, and it's not an environment where you're really just giving information out because agents don't see that as a true benefit to them. So again, unless you're joining a team and paying your team lead, which again, I do think there is a place for that.
Yeah.
But I also think that there's this space for agents that maybe they don't necessarily need to join a team. Maybe they just need some additional training.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't need to give up all of their commissions for that. And they just want to learn how to be a good agent. And so I'm really, really passionate about that because I've also seen where team leads put their all into someone, they get them trained up and they get them where they need to be. And then almost instantly they leave the team. And so it causes a lot of heartbreak, a lot of drama in the industry. It is a small, small real estate world. It really is. Everyone knows each other. And it just creates chaos and additional drama, which really just pulls away from what we are actually trying to do, which is business and representing buyers and sellers to the best of our ability.
Yep.
So I'm really passionate about Mentorical because it really does solve for all of that. So it gets the agent to a place to where they can be confident and be the best agent they can possibly be in real estate transactions. But also helps team leads where, a team lead really doesn't want to be spending time on agent 101 with every agent. That's not the best use of their time.
Yeah.
So team leads will use Mentorical when they want to, just teach an agent how to be the best agent. And they can focus on other more important or market specific things. So that's where all of that came from. It's definitely evolved. into more continuation training and, other things that I think we're going to jump into as well.
But so the business is Mentorical. Where do people find this? And it's probably not just agents, right? Somebody that already has their license, that they don't have to have a license to use this training. Right?
Yeah, no. I mean, anyone can join the training. So it's mentorical.com. And you can, again, it's Agent 101. There are workshops for agents, but also there are other aspects to Mentorical. So that's why it's named Mentorical, because I think there's so many more. I mean, I know there are so many more aspects to real estate and just training in general. And I think when you get a group of people or a group of mentors that are open to sharing, and, I gave away all my secrets with Mentorical. I still to this day am like shocked that, I don't get hate mail, because I really believe, and I aligned myself with people that believe that we should share all of our best practices to elevate the businesses that we're in, to make real estate better, make real estate agents better, make smoother transactions. It really is something that drives me, and I put it into a place where I could align with others that feel the same way, and then they can share, their best practices as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think to address that too, we've talked about it on other episodes, but there are, humans are kind of basic creatures, right? Like we have either the desire emotion or the fear emotion. Like call it 99.9% of the decisions that we make are either fear related or passion/desire related. I want to go and do this thing. I'm driven and it's optimistic and positive, or I'm afraid if I don't do this or take this action that something bad is going to happen, or this is going to happen. And I think generally that also aligns with people that have a mindset of abundance. Like, if I share what's worked for me with all of these other people, it's going to be okay, because I'm dumping water into the harbor, all the boats are going to rise, including myself. If I go create value, I'm going to get taken care of as well.
Right.
Versus this scarcity mentality where it's like, oh, it's got to be mine, and I can't show anybody else what we're up to.
Yeah.
But I very rarely see people that are wildly successful that have a scarcity mentality.
Right.
They're generally very abundant and they're very open. And so why hasn't that happened in the real estate world? Like, why hasn't somebody else gone and created that kind of a platform or that environment for agents, whether they're brand new or killers, top producers, to learn basics and learn fundamentals, and then also learn like really complicated, things about a transaction?
Yeah, there's a lot of coaches in our real estate space, and nothing against coaching. I just think it's very different. I think because there are so many markets, and so it's more about motivation and really not getting into the specifics. That's always kind of been left to brokerages, team leads. And it's just how the industry has operated. And
aren't most coaches focused on the way the agent feels, not necessarily the things that they can do to drive the difference?
It's completely different, which is why I really stay away from whenever someone's like, oh, Mentorical. Oh, is it like coaching? No, not coaching at all. It is an actual mentor in your field of expertise.
Yeah.
And I again, nothing against coaching, but it's just two totally different things. And I think our industry is flooded with coaches, because I think it's kind of the easy way out. It's almost like anyone can be a coach. But really getting into like how to be the best real estate agent you can be, that's a different person. That's someone that really needs to understand how to be the best real estate agent. Where a coach can kind of, a lot of coaches, they haven't even sold deals, or done real estate. So
yeah, what it makes me think about is, I can't remember the title of the book. We'll find it after and put it on the screen. But Malcolm Gladwell wrote a book that talked about being great or excellent in any specific field. And I think in that specific book, he talks about having 10,000 hours, whether that's, in a sport or whether it's an industry or whatever it is. If you're an artist, you have to spend 10,000 hours before you could really call yourself an expert in that specific field.
Yeah.
And so in California, I think it's 127 hours to get your real estate license, or 128 or something like that. So if you were to think that, and this is me going down a rabbit hole, maybe some negativity, but like the state puts together this program.
Yeah.
You have to spend 125 hours, and you're coming out of that program. The state never does anything well. Like think back to the last time you went to the DMV or paid your taxes. They don't do that stuff well. So you go and you follow these courses and you take these tests, and 125 hours later, you're an agent. So if you believe that you're going to be able to go and become an expert after just doing that, I think you're probably crazy.
Yeah.
And so to your point, you have a few different pathways. You're either going to find a team or a mentor or somebody that you're going to work with and spend 10,000 hours on transactions with them and pay for it. Or you're going to find another way to go and consume that information to get to a place where you can become an expert. Right. So this is, to me, Mentorical is really a way to accelerate your ability to become an expert as an agent.
Yeah.
Without necessarily having to join a team. But you also could join a team and do it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think a team provides something else, right? Sure. Like accountability and there's so much more to it than just education. But I don't think you should join a team just for education, because I think, and from what I've seen, it's eventually if you have that entrepreneurial spirit. Like I knew going into real estate that I wasn't going to be on a team. I wasn't going to be on somebody's team. I knew I was either going to start my own team, start my own brokerage. Like I knew that about myself. And I think there are a lot of agents that also know that. Yeah. But, they're doing what they can to get to where they need to be. And it does cause a lot of unnecessary chaos. And we have talked about it before, where sometimes I will openly say that I feel that agents get in the way of doing deals, because the range is just, so varied as far as what the education level is, their
experience in a deal.
Yeah. And so, having a mentor or someone that is going to teach you the right way, I think is super important. But there's no consistent way in the industry. So
we only have a couple of minutes left, but I want to make sure that we touch on a couple of new partnerships and new opportunities in Mentorical. But before, I want to put in a shameless plug. Agents at Innovate Realty get access to Mentorical at no cost.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. So agents at Innovate have been able to take advantage of Mentorical. I think, Mentorical launched at a really crazy time, because once, it was all finished being, put together, built, filmed, all the collateral, all the things, we decided to form Innovate. So recently we have picked up some momentum with some new partnerships, because again, the need is there in the real estate space. So we picked up some exciting partnerships that are really going to, take Mentorical to the next level, but with people, again, that have the similar vision of, elevating our industry as a whole. So SDMLS was super excited to hear about what we're doing and how we're helping agents. So it was really cool to, kind of validate a partnership with like-minded people who see the benefit in, giving agents more education at a reasonable cost in order for them to be successful. So, with that is, just one of probably 7 different areas and partnerships that we're going to be announcing over the next few months. So, do
we get any sneak peeks on these other partnerships? Our listeners, I kind of know.
Yeah.
but I won't say anything.
Yeah. So, we have a back end system that is super interested, that we're finalizing things with, where Mentorical will just be an option in their back end system, pushed to all of their users.
That's huge.
So really, really exciting, action. And I think as that community grows, the Mentorical community grows, I haven't talked about it too much, I think, on the podcast, but there are real estate cliques out there. There are, like, you're either in the real estate clique or you're not. Yeah. And oftentimes the real estate cliques come from these like super expensive coaches in the industry. And it's like, you're not one of the cool kids unless you coach with, this person. And with coaching with them, I mean, you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars an hour. And honestly, agents especially, I mean, we talked about the market, like they can't afford it, or they're, they have to go to all these events, and it's a whole thing. So I'm really against that. I feel like, again, I just want to share information. I want everyone to do well, and making that information accessible, as accessible as possible, is really important to me.
Yeah. I have one other angle to that too. I mean, and we've talked about it in previous episodes, but if you're a real estate investor and you're not and you're not an agent, I think it would be beneficial to learn the way that agents operate and interact with their clients.
Right.
It will only make you sharper in your ability to buy and sell the assets you're investing in. And so, I think this isn't necessarily just something that agents can extract a ton of value from. I think it's investors, builders, contractors. I mean, even a buyer or a seller of their first home is going to be the biggest investment they ever make. Understanding how they could interact with their agent would also probably be beneficial. So it's such a cool application.
Yeah. And I mean, you touched on it, but even from the investment perspective. So I'm really excited that we are launching kind of another piece to Mentorical, where even agents that want to be investors, and just another way to train agents to be better in the space. So just like you said, investors understanding what agents do, agents need to understand what investors do if they want to be able to serve them properly. So, or if they want to invest themselves. So we're really excited to, launch that piece of Mentorical this year.
It's huge.
Because I think there's so much opportunity. And again, every agent wants to be an investor. We talk about it a lot. It's like, once you do enough deals, you're like, hey, I think I could do that. Yeah. But there's a lot to that, obviously, as we've talked about before. So having the ability to provide that to agents, I think, with an expert in the space, is huge.
Yeah. No, very exciting. So it's great. It's I mean, I'm having a hard time not explaining how big this is going to be for a lot of people, but I mean, just so you don't have to do the shameless plug, because I feel like we have to.
I'm the worst at shameless plug.
For our listeners, if you are not at Innovate and you're not on the Mentorical platform, I highly recommend looking at both to see if it's a good fit for you. You don't have to move to Innovate to get to Mentorical.
Yeah.
In fact, some of these partnerships that we're discussing will be national.
With other brokerages. Yeah.
National partnerships.
Yeah.
With other brokerages that we're competing against. Which by definition, and this is what I was getting at with my shameless plug. When Suzanne comes on the podcast or in a public environment and just says that, she wants to share what she's learned through her experiences freely with a mindset of abundance, she really means it, because, in these deals that we're working on, we have competing brokerages that want to understand what we're doing to grow. And we could hold on to those things and be like, no, it's not something we're going to release. Instead, we're saying, hey, we want the whole world to have this. You're saying that specifically, and you're opening it up in a way where it makes it easier for them and cheaper for them to get access to it.
Right.
And there's no obligation to even look at us as a solution, as a brokerage. And so, just shout out to you for creating it. And then also opening it up to the whole world. I think it's super impressive.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm excited. And again, I mean, it comes from the right place. I think it's not coming from a place of like, I want to charge $2,000 for 30 minutes of my time.
But if you want to pay it, we'll take it.
It comes from like I truly believe that our industry is full of professionals.
Yeah.
And I think there are a few that as you said, just need a little extra training. So we're here for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else on Mentorical?
Oh, I think we covered it. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for listening. We'll put the link to Mentorical and the socials up here. If you haven't done so, hit subscribe. Also follow Mentorical on all the socials. And we'll see you next week.
See ya.